Well, this is going to be a weird intro. I logged in to make the intro for this video, but when I undocked, I saw this ship creeping around the station. This is a Can-Yue logistic assault, one of the more unique and definitely one of the rarest ships in the game at the moment. You don't see a lot of these things flying around, and as usual, when I see a rare ship that does catch my interest, so I decided to creep around a little bit with the Astro to see if this ship logs out in space. However, the fact that they are just chilling on the station here means that they are here for a purpose. Now, I don't expect to see these ships being used for PvE. I highly doubt that this is a PvE built ship here. I think the ship is probably going to be a PvP build, although I'm not entirely sure
Warp drive
what
active.
kind of build they might have. They warp somewhere. Could be to the gate, could be to the planet. I went to the gate to see if they are leaving the system. Okay. Well, the gate is clear, so that means planets or the other gate. Now this is definitely suspicious. I say suspicious because usually ships would already leave or they would already go into mission. But to me it feels like this ship is trying to see if I am following. Okay. Well, I'm cloaked, so they don't know if I'm around. I'm 10 kilometers from the logistic assault. If they log out in space, I'm prepared to go after the ship. This is a Can-Yue ship, so one of the actual Can-Yue ships in the game, one of the more rare ones. There's the battleship as well, but I think this one is not a prototype. This is an actual ship. And they went somewhere. Okay. Belt or anomaly? Now let me just go and prepare myself. Let me just go to the station to scan. That ship
Warp drive active.
is definitely planning something. And the good thing is I'm cloaked, so they don't know if I'm following around. Well, they can't technically see the ship. They can guess that I'm following around. Okay, let me decloak and let me scan. I have to be careful with the cloak. I am running out of fuel on this ship. Okay, 14.84. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, they warped. So they are warping around. That's interesting. Well, that is definitely interesting. You know what? Let me dock. Actually, no. Let me do another scan. Okay, they are at the other station. Now let me dock. So,
Docking
that's
request accepted.
interesting. And I did log out for a couple minutes. Contacted one of my friends to log in and see if something happens. And let's say we have some
Undocking.
action going on here. As I thought, my guess was correct. After all, the logistic assault went to the sun after I logged out. My friend took an interceptor and tackled the battlecruiser. Now, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what kind of build to expect from the Can-Yue. I think I initially expected a tanky build because I don't really know how else you can fit that ship. I did fly it a long time ago. I know they can technically be tanky. So, in the case of a tanky ship, I went and took something that is able to crack open tanky ships quite easily. The Dominic's Navy. I take this ship when I am not really sure what to expect. When it comes to a very rare ship like the logistic assault, I'm taking no chances. So I'm taking one of the best ships that I have, and well, this just so happens that it is one of my best ships that I own. And they are locking first. Okay, that's a good sign. And they have... That's a very interesting module there. Well, they opened fire first. That is interesting. I launched my drones. That's a battle cruiser. I should have enough tracking. Although my drones will be a little bit slow, but that's not a big deal. Let's keep distance at 38 kilometers because they have been pointed. In case that we have more ships coming in, having the option to warp out is always good to have. I am enabling all damage mods and siege modes. Well, okay. Doesn't matter how tanky that battlecruiser is. I have to say though, that thing took already more damage than some battleships take. Okay, now still no spike in local. I will I'll recall my drones for a second round of bombard. Just to finish off the battlecruiser, because why not? I don't know what to expect from that last bit of shield. Just to be safe, bombard loaded and drones launched.
We are under attack.
Yeah, okay. After the shield goes down, yep, ship destroyed. Okay, well, that was a Can-Yue logistic assault, one of the more rare ships. I think this is my first one that I had the chance to encounter. My friends encountered a couple of them. I think one or two that I've seen. But these ships are super rare. I don't really see them often at all. I saw the last one I saw was like maybe last summer or something like that, a long time ago. Right, well that was interesting. So, was that a bait? Well, was definitely a PvP build ship, that's for sure. Although not exactly the build that I expected to see on this ship. I expected something tankier. I definitely expected more tank on that. I think on the logistic assault video that I made, I had dual large boosters or something close to it. So overall, potentially can be very tanky, although that one wasn't that tanky, and wasn't really the type of build that I expected. But yeah, one rare ship, I guess. I actually expected a lot more value, because they used to be like 20 billion ISK
Warp drive active.
value kill metals or something like that. They used to be expensive. I think they are still expensive on the IP. I don't really know how much IP they cost. I don't have one of these ships myself. I think they are a log-in reward ship or a Omega reward or something like that. But still, 2.7, almost 2.8, I'll take it. It is definitely a rare ship, and there is a decent...
Docking request accepted.
Well, decent loop dropped. I mean, a Predator Disruptor. I am not going to complain about that, that's for sure. Okay, so, since we are already on a topic of flying the Space Potato, I do have a little Black Ops run. And I'm definitely excited for those. The Black Ops runs are definitely one of my personal favorites. They quickly became one of my favorites, and the last encounter I've had was a close call. That was a close call with 3 super capitals that dropped on us. That was exciting to say the least. Still cannot believe that I made out of that place alive. I was one of the very few ones that survived. That was definitely blood pumping, not going to lie. And we have a decent little fleet here. I love how I'm the only space potato. I need to get a Marzio of myself, but I can fly the Marzio. I can fly all these ships. I just prefer drones. I have already the bombard, and drones are currently my best weapon systems. My best weapon system. And as I said before, I'm definitely not killing out of drones. They will stay. They will stay. Okay, well, we have a Marzio. Speaking of the devil, we have a Marzio about to be tackled. And where is the Sino? And you might be wondering, where are we? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I like to say that we are in the middle of nowhere. That's pretty much Black Ops operations in a nutshell. You go in the middle of nowhere and try to find stuff exciting, honestly. I love that. Ooh, that's that Marzio is going to be in a lot of trouble right now. Wrong place at the wrong time. Well, that's why tackling a... This is why tackling Sino ships like the Chameleon or similar is usually a very risky business, because that Chameleon can be a gateway to maybe like 20-30 Black Ops to drop on you, so you never know what you can expect from the Sino ships, especially from the Chameleon or Arby or similar ships like that. And that's exactly what this Marzio encountered. That thing lasted surprisingly long. That's the Marzio damage control. That ship has one of the best damage controls in the game. 6.64 billion, not bad, good catch. Definitely a solid catch. The Marzio has a 28-second damage control, and it can have over 1 million hit points just with the damage control alone. Overall, surprisingly tanky, and besides being tanky, it also has a lot of DPS. It is a very interesting ship. I'm just not really a fan of the IP cost. I don't know how much this ship costs that I'm flying. I think it's like 8-9 billion. The Marzio might actually be cheaper, so I don't know, but I prefer drones nowadays. Drones slap. You will not see me complain about the drones. Okay, let's take a look at the mail. I launched my bombards a bit too late. I could have had a second bombard run, and I also hit the damage control, but nonetheless I would say that's still a good catch. Yeah, it's about the build I would use myself. Filament. Okay, so they have been jumping around with the Marzio. That's interesting. Right, next we have a Rattlesnake, I believe. Going to fleet warp the interceptor. Okay, fleet warp. I have the handbrake. My handbrake is pretty much the siege mode. I enabled the siege mode on purpose to prevent my ship from warping, so that the interceptor can warp in, tackle, and I can warp after to bring DPS. And now we just wait for the command to come through, and then the space potato is going to be launched at the Rattlesnake. Okay, let's
Warp
go.
drive active.
It's been tackled. Drone orbit about 6 kilometers. What's my optimal drone range? I have no idea. Should be roughly around 6 kilometers. And I'm still lazy to put a 4th scrambler. I just have one blue, 1 point on this ship. It will get the job then, either way. Alright, let's approach them. Actually, my apologies, that's a Macarial, not a Rattlesnake. There's a bunch of ships lately. Wait a second, where is my nanocore and why do I have a sentry drone? I have questions. What did I do with this ship? And why am I missing stuff? Oh well, in any case, whatever I have right now, it will be enough to yeet the Macarial here. Let's load the second bombard run, because why not? I'm missing like 50% of my DPS right now because I forgot to add my nanocore. I don't know where my nanocore is, but in any case, Macarial's been fried or yeeted. That was a good catch. Yep, my nanocore is missing. Isn't that just lovely? And there's a sentry for whatever reason installed on my drone slots, so that wasn't really a good run, I would say, because why am I using the wrong modules? Well, wrong drones, in this case, wrong drone. Yep, I'm missing a lot of DPS. Let me just put this back where it belongs. Why
Warp
was
drive
that
active.
drone not equipped? I have zero clue. I have absolutely zero clue. Well, 3.18 billion Macarial. Yeah, did have some tank, but as we all know, Macarials aren't really the tankiest ships, and they are generally ships that are fast and have DPS, but I wouldn't be using a full tank build on those because it usually doesn't really work that well. I did try in the past, but my Macarial now is DPS and speed. I rarely tank those ships nowadays. Just not worth it. They're just better ships for that purpose. But you know, that's definitely a better build than the vast majority of builds that we have seen lately. Okay, next target. We have a... Let's see what we have here. When I decide to click on the target, that is a small anomaly. Okay. A Vexor trainer, you know? I love how in one video you see rare ships, you can see rare ships, you can see very
Warp drive
expensive ships,
active.
you see funny ships, and you see cheap ships, all in one place. I find that hilarious. But as I mentioned before, I play for fun, and yeeting low tier ships with low tier ships is fun. However, I have to say that rare ship was also a good catch. And that's why it's the first on this video today. Well, this Vexor will go down fairly quickly. It is a Vexor after all. And I'm flying the good old bot Mahler. I you know, the idea how this ship came to be is still making me laugh. In the old days where you could see a bot Mahler in every corner, that's where I decided to make my own bot Mahler, and the actual bot Mahlers are used for PvE primarily. Well, this bot Mahler is used for a different type of PvE. It prefers to farm player ships.
Warp
That's my
drive
preferred
active.
PvE with the bot Mahler. And honestly, this thing is just... You would be surprised how fun this thing is. Cheap, robust, and if it dies, it dies. Although that hasn't happened yet. But if the bot Mahler dies, it dies. It's funny. It will be funny because it's a 20 million ship. And for 20 million you can have an insane amount of fun. As I've been saying in the last, I don't know, a year or two, cheap ships is where the maximum fun is at. The cheaper ships are the most fun ships because you can just fly them and you can simply you can simply just enjoy the game.
Warp drive active.
And let's see if you can still dock with timer. This is something that I occasionally check, because, you know, every new update can bring some new stuff to the table, and who knows, one day you might not be able to dock with timer anymore, and that's why I'm
Docking
testing it
request
out
accepted.
with a cheap ship. As I mentioned before, cheap ships are built to get yeeted. This thing is built to get yeeted. Okay, let's go to the next target. I'm flying the good old RB. That's not the good old RB. I need to. You know, you might be surprised if you remember the old RB. I still have that ship, although I didn't fly it in a very long time. But it's still there. That ship still exists. Just like my first ever ships are still up and running. I would say the oldest ship right now that I have is the
Warp drive
Macariel.
active.
And I'm trying to remember, was my Ashmo older than the Macariel? I think it was. I had the Ashmo first before I had the Macariel. And the RB might be the oldest. Actually, it's okay. It's a Rupture. That's a terrible warping. Yeah, this Rupture will warp off if they're paying attention. They will be warping off. Yep, they are. They're already warping, and they also have an nanocore. Could have been potentially a good Rupture, but I messed up. I should have checked cloaked first. And I can come back with a Stratus and wait. Although I don't really want to use a Stratus for Rupture. That would be overkill. I prefer low tier versus low tier.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active. Undocking.
Next, let's see what I'm going to do here. Oh yeah, I remember this one. It was a Tyra, which is funny because I should have just went for it, but I wasn't really sure what they were doing. So I could have caught the Tyra as well, but unfortunately I didn't. This is why I have this Astra prepared with two cameras now, because sometimes this little ship can actually catch something, and when it does catch something, I can just call in for backup if needed,
Warp drive active.
and then we catch a good ship potentially. But that was kind of a fail. And well, let's go to the next target. Okay, everything is prepared. We have a crewer in a mission, so I'll just take the good old anti-frigate built Stratus. This thing ate so many frigates. This is my go-to frigate ship because it's stealthy
Undocking.
and has a lot of DPS. Stratus eats frigates in most cases, and it is still one of the nastiest ships that you can find in the game, because of the bombard implant and because of the way Sister of Eve, well, in this case the Stratus works, because
Warp drive active.
it can tackle the second it decloaks, and that makes it perfect for hunting. Even though this is a exploration ship, my exploration is a little bit different. I prefer to explore the cargo holds of the ships that I destroy. That's a crewer, and they are moving. Well, they're already in range. Let's just go after it. Let's approach at 0. Afterburner on. Webbed, scrambled. Drones are out. And well, that was That was fast. That was fast, but that's what you can expect from the Stratus and with the bomber tactic implant.
We're under
And some
attack.
C-types. Not bad, I'll take it. That's a nice Krur
We're
catch.
under attack.
And now let's warp off. Well, that was definitely a short and sweet run. Again, we had a very
Warp
odd...
drive active.
we had a very odd start, that's for sure. It's not how I usually start a video, but it just so happens I decided, I said to myself, you know what, that's going to be the intro. You don't see that ship every day. So yeah, that's how that intro came to existence. But in any case, let's take a look at the crew that we caught, and then I guess it would be time to end the video. 440 million, not bad. A good damage on total. Does look like a PvP ready build, but yeah, nothing much that a frigate can do versus a Stratus. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to
Warp
support me,
drive
feel free to
active.
like and subscribe. And with that, stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.
Docking request accepted. Undocking. Warp drive active.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.